everybody, and welcome to Muthoni Talks. I hope you've been great and looking forward to another exciting episode of Muthoni Talks. Today's show, my friends. It is Fire Moto Bandem Ferrari put together because we have an amazing mindset coach in studio. She's an amazing speaker. She is transforming lives every day, one life at a time. Shabadilisha sisi wote. Kwa hivyo I hope uko mahali umeketi uko tayari kubadilika. Welcome to Muthoni Talks. We have Muthoni in the building, and she is definitely matching our set. And you know what else you're matching? Our conversation today.
Yes.
Matches of the heart, pumping.
The intro, thank you. That intro, I'm like, who's that? Who's that?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Who's
thank
that?
you. Thank you so much.
Personally, Muthoni, I think I have seen mimi ni wale followers, sawa, wale silently following for cousins and aunties and everyone else. But I've seen you transition, and today you just introduced something different that I didn't know about you. But the beat that I had known about you, I've seen it move from one face to the other, to the other, to the other. And you keep reinventing yourself as you go, which is beautiful. And we'll get into that in a bit. But you also mentioned that pale tukifanya traveling theater, you were also a part of that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
First of all, thank you so much for hosting me.
Karibu.
I really love you. And most importantly, I love your energy. I think we all love your energy.
Thank you.
And you're doing a wonderful job.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be here.
Yes,
karibu
sana.
For a long time, I was on your end, like on the
Yes.
other side, as a host, as an interviewer. Now I'm on this side, and I love it.
I remember when I did the teasers that I'm finally going to go on YouTube. And I think yours was like the first comment right there, saying, it's okay, welcome. We are here to hold your hand. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not so sure if I am ready, but you know, like I'm just going to step into that light and see where it takes me. And here we are. And when I talk about you moving from one space to another, then even you've invented yourself from, you know, just from this end of being a host to now transforming lives, which is beautiful.
It's like I'm going through metamorphosis.
Yes.
You know,
was it conscious? Was it? Did you see it coming, or was it like this life inanipeleka kwenye naenda ndaflow tu nayo? Ama did you know that you were going to be the mindset coach at this point? Was it intentional?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know. But then in the back of my mind, I knew I was going to be someone.
Yeah.
I knew there is more to me than what was there.
Okay.
Then.
Okay.
I knew I was gonna be someone who's gonna maybe transform lives, who's gonna be influential. And even when I started my media journey, at some point I felt this is not it. This is not the end.
You were
just that
skyrocketing, flying. You got in and you took over the space by storm because it was a new space. I mean, it was a Kikuyu station. It was new. But then you got in. Na mahali unaekwa na wale watu wamekuwa kwa industry miaka na miaka.
Then unakuangalia hivi. They're just waiting for you to mess up so they can say we knew.
We knew. But even in that space you didn't feel like this was it. You felt like there's more.
Yeah, I didn't feel initially I did. Initially I was like, wow, this is now, you know.
Yes.
But then after a while, after you start doing it, after a while you still feel you're not as fulfilled as you expected to be, you know. Okay. And then you still feel there is more you need to do. Like this is not the end. Like you can be more, and you can be, you know, you can just be whoever you want to be. Okay. And that's when the transition came, and that's when I got into that space.
Absolutely, and that's why you're here today.
That's why I am here today.
Well, that and so much more. But we're talking about something that you've experienced yourself, you know, going through relationships and being heartbroken and having to get out of that space with your claws, with your feet, with your head, with everything. Yani unapambana tu kupata. I just need air, you know. And
like I'm drowning.
Exactly. And you just need to get to the surface. And it's not an easy space to be in. For anyone who's gone through a heartbreak, it's never an easy space to get out and find yourself, find love again. Come hata una believe in I exist anymore, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what we're talking about. What are some of the things that we need to do when we've just gone through a terrible, terrible, terrible heartache?
Okay. So you've spoken about starting your own YouTube channel.
Yes.
Let me briefly talk about how I started mine.
Fantastic.
And my content.
Okay.
So when I was there in the media, slaying and reading news and being all over and following
with
and
your
all that.
short, beautiful hair.
Yes, you know, looking all that glamorous and being in the airwaves, primetime news anchor. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, but I was not self-aware.
Okay.
And at some point, I went through a difficult phase in my life. I went through a toxic relationship. My parents traveled. I just found myself in a very difficult situation where I had to seek help. And when I started seeking help, is when I realized, when I went for therapy, counseling, I started reading books, I started educating myself on such emotions, on emotions, on the mental issues, on mental health, on self-awareness, on being the woman I wanted to be. I realized some of this information is not available out here.
Okay.
Women are suffering, but we don't know what to do. Women like me, yeah? I was there looking beautiful and all that. But at the end of the day, you're in your house crying, you're in a house stressed, you're not as happy as people expect you to be.
And whatever they say about you, you can't relate because
Yeah.
what is that? Powerful who? Powerful where?
Where is power here? I want to see that power also, you know. And,
Yes.
and they're referring to you as a powerful person, but you don't feel the power. You don't. So I decided to start my YouTube channel to educate women on those issues. Matters to do with heartbreaks, matters to do with emotions, matters to do with believing in yourself, loving yourself, self-esteem. Those things we were not taught.
By whom?
Yeah. We heard about self-esteem when we were almost turning 30.
That is
You're
true.
like,
That is so true.
Yeah. So I wanted to create a platform for women to learn those things.
Okay.
Like we go to school, we are taught how to be a doctor, how to be an engineer, how to be a teacher. No one teaches you how to handle life. No one teaches you how to handle your emotions. No one teaches you how to stand up for yourself.
Ooh.
You know, we come from very weird backgrounds.
If you stand up for yourself, it looks like you're rude.
Yeah.
Actually,
How
so
dare you?
now, okay.
Umefika. Like, how dare you?
Oh
you
my
know,
God,
know your place.
yes,
You know,
yes.
that's where we are coming from.
Yeah.
And getting to a point where you have to own your space. Like, this is my space in this world.
Yes.
I have a space that's mine, and I can exercise my powers in my space. So that's why I created that platform.
Okay.
Now to your question
Yes, darling.
about the breakup.
Yes.
So I dated a narcissist, and I talk about it for a while, for like 2 years. And the relationship was toxic, of course. And after things went south, of course, when I started...
Were you aware that he was this kind of person? When
I didn't know.
Okay.
I did not know. I was there in a relationship, happy. I didn't even know the things that were happening were not good things, are not things that should happen in a healthy relationship.
Yes.
I didn't know initially. And actually, after it ended, after things went south, and I was so broken, I was so lost, and I was feeling I had lost something. I was feeling like I cannot, you know, narcissists, they become like a drug to you. Like you kind of become addicted to them. I think one day you'll invite me here, we just talk
about that.
In general, because
Yes.
when I start, I can't finish now. So you're out of a relationship and you're feeling like you can't survive on your own. Like you really need it. You're feeling lost. You're feeling like you don't know who you are anymore.
Okay.
And I decided to go for therapy. That time, to me, therapy was for people who wanaokota makaratasi huku nje.
Yeah.
That one is crazy.
Mimi niko sawa.
Mimi niko sawa, niko na high heels, niko na nywele mrefu, I'm reading news. Why do I need therapy? For who? For why?
Oh my God.
But then it got to a point where I went for a forum for women, and then there was a therapist who was talking, and she said, seek your own happiness. Don't sit in your struggles, don't sit in pain, don't sit in tears, thinking that there's no solution. Go out there, talk to a therapist, talk to a counselor, talk to specialists. Seek your own happiness, make yourself happy,
Yes.
solve your own issues, you know. So I went for therapy.
Okay.
So when I went for therapy, the first session, of course, I cried the whole time. Ameniwacha.
Oh, he's the one who left. It wasn't even,
No, I
am
did.
done with you.
No.
I want better for myself.
I did. I
Oh,
left.
you did? Oh,
but
fantastic.
You know, that time, you're
It's
leaving
still
so he can
painful.
chase you. As
Yeah.
in, why is he not coming to look for me? Like, you know, I left because of things that were happening, but he didn't follow through. He just was like, okay, bye, see you. See you in heaven. You know those. So I felt like he is the one who left. I don't know if I'm making sense.
I understand.
I felt
because
like
I think probably you were not looking to see it through. Yes, I'm leaving, but ukinibembeleza kidogo, I'll feel better.
Yes, it's one of those situations where he messes up like big time.
Yes.
Then I'm like, you know what? I can't take this anymore. I'm done. But he didn't come to apologize.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, okay, Kwani, I wasn't important to you. So when I went for therapy, of course, the first session I was crying the whole time. Oh, okay. So and then now, the therapist. Okay. Take your moment. I'm also I'm usually now like you. I laugh a lot.
It's like woo KK.
I couldn't even talk. Like I was just there, my shozi na makamas. You know, like those, like you're really wailing. You know, crying and wailing is different. Wailing.
Oh, so you were wailing.
Yeah, but crying is. It wasn't. Anyway, so the first session, the therapist aliniambia, do you know who a narcissist is? I didn't even know. Nikamwambia no, and then now she talked to me and told me you're not the problem. You know, when you live some of those toxic relationships, you feel you're the reason they treated you badly. You feel you deserved it. You feel if only I could be like this, if only. But I was not the problem. He was a broken person and he had the narcissistic disorder, you know. So after now I went for my healing journey. I started going for therapy, I started reading books, I started watching videos from people in the States, in the UK who talk about such things. That's when I started to do my personal development, my self-awareness work. That's how my journey to becoming a mindset coach started.
Oh my goodness.
So I went through the whole phase, the breakup, the crying, the everything. Because you know, when you break up with a person, it's usually loss. You go through grief, like you're grieving the end of that relationship. So it hurts, and you feel like there's an empty space left, and you have to work towards healing it.
Okay, so this whole situation ya kurudi soko kuoga, you know, is that still grief, or you've moved on to another stage? You know how people say, Amanda, you just move on. Or, you know, get down and dirty with somebody else so that you forget about them. You know, the people have different ways of dealing with that.
It depends. People like to simplify things. Ogana rudi soko. It's not that simple. It's
It's
not heartbreak has happened now. Muthoni bafu out in the market. It's not.
It's not.
And when we do things like that, we keep finding ourselves in the same relationships, in the same cycles, because we don't take time to heal. To work on that loss and to work on that broken part of yourself. Otherwise, if you don't work on that part, you go hurting everybody as well.
That's true.
Or you go expecting other people to heal you, but they will never. It's not their job. They don't even know how to do it, you know. So you have to take time to heal that loss, to work on that loss, to heal that part. And also, this is so important. I don't know how much I can emphasize this. You have to take time to let go of the version of yourself that dated that person.
Say that again.
You have to let go of that person who stayed in that relationship, who was, you know, a lot of, mostly I'm talking about toxic relationships. A lot of toxic relationships, we like to say, alinifanyia, hata siku ingine, we want to jump to the victim corner. But that relationship, for it to work, it required your presence and your participation. So it was two people. So it might be you are not the one who was instigating all the violence and all whatever was happening, but you could have enabled it. And at times we also develop some very toxic coping mechanisms za kukaa kwa hiyo relationship. Sometimes it could be silent treatment. When he slaps you or when he whatever, you just go quiet for like 2 weeks. Or those are toxic things that sometimes you could take them moving forward even in other relationships. So when you go through a breakup, it's important to work on to improve yourself, to let go of that person who was in that other relationship. So you don't bring the other relationship inside a new one.
The person who was taking the slaps, the person who was giving silent treatment, now I can shout louder than you, and I never used to shout. That person has to die.
They have to. You have to let go of that person. You have to really be whole and full, and also you also have to be ready. Excuse me.
It's okay.
You also have to be ready to. A lot of times you go into relationships thinking, nataka nifanyie hivi, I want this from them. You also have to be ready to also give. You know, to also create time for that person, to also be emotionally available to them and such things. So it's not just tumeachana oga rudi soko.
No. And even this process that you're describing right now that I need to do, I need to be aware. That means there's work to be done. Immediately I'm done with that relationship. When it's over, it won't be immediately nimeenda nimepata mtu mwingine, because me trying to understand who that person was and what that person took from that relationship, the person that I became in that relationship, to identify all of that, to heal, to grieve, and now get to the part where you're even trying to better yourself is a whole process. It's definitely not a kuoga kurudi soko.
It's not. And a lot of times we jump to rebound.
Yeah, well, there's that. And I think, was it our age? Rebound was such a huge thing. I think it was such a huge conversation.
There's that statement, you to get over a man,
you need another one.
It's wrong. It's so wrong.
Ama kabla nimwache na need distraction. Distract me.
Yeah.
So that I can move on from this other. What?
Nataka huyu afanye nisikie vizuri.
Yes.
After the breakup, you're crying, you're broken, you're in pain.
Yes.
Sasa huyu ni kama daktari. Now you want them to massage you.
Oh my God.
When you leave a relationship,
yes,
you need to ask yourself, especially if it's a relationship that you felt you lost yourself, it didn't work, it's not what you wanted, or those relationships will stay for like 9 years.
Hello, hi, Muthoni. So, God is seeing you.
you have to ask yourself,
yes,
what is it that made you stay in such a relationship? Yeah? What role did you play in your own suffering? You have to be very honest. A lot of times we look at the other person, alikuwa hivi, but we don't look at ourselves. And if you're the one who's hurting you, like you've been in 3 toxic relationships, it's not those people, it's you. You've been in every. And we're not talking about
so you're saying that we attract that because we're in that space, or what happens? Why? Because it happens a lot. You move from one relationship, then you'll see someone else moving into a relationship with someone who's almost has the same traits as the person that you just left.
Yeah, same forest, different monkey.
Oh goodness.
Like, so you're living, this one was beating you or was violent, and then you go to another one who ghosts you, a whole month they have not spoken to you. The other one is cheating all over. It's the same man. But because you've not healed the part of yourself that would let themselves be violated over by someone else, that don't know who they don't know their worth, they don't know they can do better in a relationship. So you go into a new relationship, it's hurting and it also has issues, but you don't even realize it's not okay. Huyu alikuwa ananichapa, huyu anichapi lakini ananinyamazia, you think it's okay. It's not okay.
It is not.
It's not okay. Yeah. So
what are some of the things that you can do as someone who's gotten out of a relationship to just better yourself, to understand the journey of that happened to me, I am here now, I want better for myself? And some people now take maybe a whole sabbatical out of relationships, or they vow to be celibate, and we're going to get to that bit. We're going to get to the bit of sex, celibacy, and all of that in a bit. But what are some of the things that one can do, or probably you did, and you can share with us to see how we can learn, grow in that space?
Okay. I think the first thing after leaving a relationship is understanding why it didn't work out.
Okay.
Why? A lot of times we don't know. We're like, Elisha, it didn't just die.
It didn't.
It died, yes, but that's not what it's like asking, why did they die? They died. Death took them away. It didn't. There's a reason behind it. So understanding why it didn't work, and understanding the role you also, because when you get into a relationship, you want it to work.
Yes.
When you get into that relationship, you hope you're not gonna, after 3 months, then now you're back to the market. It's also tiring. Kushina mwaga kurudi soko. Tutamaliza sabuni. Like it's also tiring,
Yes.
So we want them to work. So why didn't it work?
Okay.
And also, especially if you're in a relationship where it took a long time, like those 5 years, 6 years, and then you realize, I've wasted my 5 years, 6 years. If you realize this is not the person you wanted, why did you stay? Understanding why it did not work is the first step. The second thing is also asking yourself, that did not work. So what would work for me? What do I want moving forward in a relationship?
Okay.
So if that relationship, you are with someone who was too introverted maybe for you, or you are with someone who does not value marriage, they don't believe in marriage, or you're with someone who, or you cheated, let's just call ourselves out, or you cheated, or you are not, ask why didn't it work, so that you don't keep repeating the same things moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah, asking yourself, what do I want moving forward? I want this kind of a relationship. So that kind of a relationship that has faithfulness.
Yes.
That munaenda Dubai holiday. Those things.
Those things.
Yeah. So that relationship, what will it require from you?
Because we depend, I depend on you to come complete. But
Come and make me happy.
Am I ready? Am I the version that you're looking for? Am I in your list?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Am I nimejiogesha vizuri? Niko na pesa ya kwenda Dubai? You know, mimi.
Ama ngojea yako ile umetafuta na huko. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, so what will that my dream relationship.
Yeah.
What does it require from me? What do I need? What kind of person do I need to be for that relationship to work?
Okay.
You know, because we say the right one for you is yourself. You attract who you are, and you date according to the level of your self-esteem. How good you've worked on yourself, how good you feel about yourself. Because if you feel really good about yourself, huyu wa kuchapana na matusi,
hata utamwangalia mara mbili.
Yeah, thank you.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
So, on that list of the kind of relationship you want, also the kind of person you're looking for.
Okay.
And then that kind of person you're looking for, hey, I want him to be tall, I want him to be financially stable, I want him to be a people person, I want him to be family oriented. I had a whole list.
God-fearing.
Yeah, all those things, very handsome.
Yes.
So all those things, you have listed about the person you want.
Yes.
You have to be exactly who that person would want. You have to be the woman for that man. Or the man for that woman, those qualities you want.
Okay.
You have to be exactly that list. You know how we are saying, I want men. Let me just give this example with a lot of men. I want wife material.
Yes.
I want a woman who goes to church. Whereas you're in the bar 24/7. Mtatuona wapi na huyo mama, huyo wa kanisa, wa kwaya.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is so
you
true.
have to be also everything you want on that list.
Okay.
You have to be the person for that person on the list. You cannot be, we're here not doing anything. We're just waiting for them to come.
From God knows where. And you're not even in the spaces where probably patikana.
Yes. And then that person on the list has done the work. They have worked on themselves. They're reading books. They're checking their behavior. They're looking at their character. But that person will not date you. They will date someone who's also vibrating like them. That's why sometimes you find people saying, I meet people, it doesn't go past 3 months, it doesn't go past 4 months. It's because probably you've worked on your physical, but maybe character-wise, on your self-esteem, your self-worth, you still have to do work. Yeah. And those people you feel, this person was for me, probably has done their work, so they can't date someone who's empty or who's not on their level.
Yes.
So that's also another thing. Whatever the kind of relationship you want, what it will require from you, because it takes 2 people to make it work.
That's true.
For healthy relationship, it needs one healthy partner, another healthy partner, munakuja pamoja. Fireworks,
Yes.
Chemistry. So that's like a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
So if one person is they've worked on themselves, they have worked on their communication skills, they've worked on handling their emotions, all those things. And then this other one is crazy and is all those other things that, like, they want to party from Monday to Monday, they don't keep a job, they're all over with 3 boyfriends. So those 2 people cannot be in a healthy relationship. They have to be all whole to create a whole healthy relationship. So those are some of the things I would say. Yeah. So their work comes in becoming what your dream requirement needs. Yeah. Becoming the person for that healthy relationship. That is where the work comes in. Because you need to check your attitude. You need to check your emotional, how you regulate your emotions, how you're able to communicate. And when we talk about emotional regulation or handling your emotions, sometimes we think emotionally mature people ni wale wamenyamaza. Those ones
they're
that will not
composed,
argue with you. No, but emotional maturity is someone who is able to express their emotions in socially acceptable ways, who's able to express their emotions to find a solution. Okay. And with a goal. Because a lot of times expressing emotions could be banging the door, hanging the phone, throwing the cup, because a lot of us have a lot of bottled issues. Yeah. So doing the work, finding yourself in that list of the person you want, and finding yourself in that healthy relationship. Yeah. That is where the work is. Trying to better yourself, trying to improve yourself.
And it's not easy. I think it's hard work.
It's not easy because these are things you've done since your childhood.
Yes.
You've always
so you have to unlearn.
you have to unlearn and relearn new things. You have, you know, we can't, they say, I don't want to say this because I'm not a scientist or a physician, about vacuum. Vacuums do not exist. Something will fill.
Yes.
So it's you unlearn and you fill that space with healthier behaviors.
Okay.
So that is where the work is. Trying to improve yourself. I always say you have to upgrade. When you if you dated here,
yes,
at A, you go to B. Like you can't just be going down or go to a level.
No.
Kutoka huyu wa matusi,
Unaenda tu mwingine. So it's the same vibration because that is what you're attracting. This is what you're bringing to yourself. We've seen people who have gone through maybe radical changes. Some will get into the gym. Immediately a breakup has happened. Some will cut their hair. Some will relocate, move countries. Does that really help? Is it, do you need to have like a profound, big way of announcing my change begins here? Or is it okay for people who can relate to it that way?
I don't think, it depends.
Okay.
If you went through a breakup and you were in a relationship that maybe hurt you, that, you know, that left you in a situation, and then the only change you make is cutting your hair, it won't really make a difference. You know, or going to the gym, losing a few kilos. Yeah. So it's good to take care of yourself. It's also good to want a new, fresh start, want a different look. You know, it's also a good thing. But as you do that, also work on improving yourself, on becoming a better person, on becoming the person you're looking for.
That is something that brings us to the celibacy bit, because when you mentioned, I think this was earlier, when you talked about how you had to take time to work on yourself. Can you work on yourself when you're doing funny business with other people and not being committed to them, you know, emotionally?
It can be hard. It can be hard because, like we said, the rebound, let's say the rebound situation, for example. You've gone through a breakup, you've gone through a situation, and then you've pattered this, after 2 or 3 weeks, you've met with this tall guy, up on stage, up whatever, wherever you meet them. And then you're thinking, this one is just in the meantime. Mimi, I'm not into him. That's how some relationships start. So you're with that guy for him to help you, not because of his character, not because of what he stands for, not because of his goals in life, not because of things you should be looking at.
Yes.
And then 6 months down the line, you're here crying. You've already fallen for that person, or it's gotten too tight. So you find yourself in another situationship with someone who you are not. Then you go around asking them, what are we? Where is this relationship going? Because
you, at the beginning, you were not in it for career. You were just, you know.
And then you're also vulnerable at that situation.
Yes.
So you're looking for someone to help heal you or help fill a gap, but no one can do it except yourself. So you find yourself in another entanglement. So that's why it can be hard to work on yourself. If you leave a relationship, you jump into another one. Yeah. As we talk about rebound, those things don't work.
They don't.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I totally agree. But then I feel like we're talking about the single person, the single gal, the single guy. What about a person who's probably been with a man, married, separated, divorced, or a single mother who's trying to get into the scene? How then does love work at that point? Is it different? Are the techniques different for someone like that who probably has children?
Not exactly. Probably the difference is the time it might take for them to recover. Okay. We always say it can take you twice as much to recover as it took loving you, that person.
Huh?
I know. That is sad.
9 years, 18.
Imagine.
So, Niki add Muthoni. Nikiad.
Kuna mtu atangoja 18 years. No, that's not what I'm saying. So,
I'm just like, I'll be dead. Oh my God.
It can. It doesn't mean it will.
Okay,
or it has to. It can.
Okay, also depends, I think, with the amount of work you put in yourself. Like how fast.
Serious, yes, how serious you are.
Yes.
And also, when you leave a situation and you leave it for good, you know, I'm not going back there. It's different from you've left, but you're thinking if they changed, if they came and apologized,
they even suggest therapy, Muthoni. They come back, wameokoka. They come back, they different man, and therapy. They come back saying the things that you wanted to hear.
Yes, so let's talk about taking back an ex.
Okay, yes.
Because I feel like that's your question.
Yes,
is it?
Yes.
So when you break up with someone, kuna zile kawaida, like you can take a month, like a healthy break or those. They're not as long. But if maybe you had kids together, you've not been together for 3 years, mmekuwa broken up.
Yeah.
Then the person comes back.
Yeah.
I say don't start from where he left. Get to know them. Get to know what they've been up to. Have they really changed? Start going on dates.
A track
and
record.
And tell them, you know what, I want to get to know you afresh. So stay where you are. I won't just meet you today and then you just have to come in the house. Stay where you are. Let's get to know one another. And if they suggest therapy is a good thing. But you should do individual therapy to work on yourself individually. Then I'll do the couples one.
Okay.
Because when you immediately start doing the couples, a lot of times it's easy for one person to manipulate the whole situation. Especially if it's a narcissist, they will turn that they will use their charm on the therapist.
Yeah.
So and then you start looking like the problem before maybe the therapist can point out this guy has a problem.
Okay.
I say individually, let them go to therapy for themselves, not just for me. Because you don't even really go for the other person.
That's
you
true.
go to make it work also on your end. And a lot of times some men say, I can't go for therapy, he's a V2.
It's a bit difficult sometimes if they think you're the one who's having the problem. Wewe si ndio uko na shida, wewe ndio unaona issues. Wewe uende ukakuongeleshe. A
lot of times it's really hard for us to understand and accept we are the problem. It's usually other people.
Yes.
It's usually ni nani, it's wakwani, we always have excuses. But you go to support them. So let me give you a story of Michelle Obama.
Okay.
So at some point when Obama was running for office, he was busy. He was busy with campaign. Michelle is at home with the girls, the babies. And she was so unhappy. This guy is busy. He doesn't have time for family as much because he's busy with campaigns, with meetings, with political rallies. But he's still finding time to go for golf, to go to the gym, to meet whatever. But Michelle was so unhappy and she was feeling like she wanted to run away. She was feeling like this is it. And she suggested they go for therapy.
Okay.
So she wanted to go for therapy because he's the problem. It's him.
Fix him.
Yeah, fix him.
Fix him. Nimekuletea.
So she looked for a therapist.
Okay.
They went for therapy. So the therapist is asking her questions. Then she's like, why are you asking me questions? He's the problem. Ask him. But then she said, so through therapy, she understood it was not his job to make her happy. He was making himself happy. He's doing campaigns. He's still going to the gym. He's still going to golf. He's still hanging out for a drink with his friend.
Yes.
Huyu ako kwa nyumba tu, I'm waiting for my husband to come and make me happy. So she said when she went for therapy, she understood the importance of having her own time, going out with the girls, going for pedicure, reading a nice book, going for an event, So so that's when she understood it was her job to make herself happy, to stop depending on the other person.
That is so
true. Sometimes we think the problem, wewe ndio shida. And also other times, sometimes you might meet someone, maybe a guy, or you're in a relationship with them when you are on that level. Somewhere on level 1.
Yes.
And then with time, one person starts reading books, start going for this, maybe something like what we are doing, starts doing their personal development work and all that.
Yeah.
At some point, they might feel their partner is not on their level.
Yeah.
Like, did I choose wrong? What is wrong with this person? But it's actually them who changed. Change could be, it doesn't have to be negative. It could be you grow, but your partner remained at the same place.
Yes.
So we are here saying they're the problem, they don't do this. But you are, I don't want to say you're the problem, you are the one who changed. You got better, you improved yourself, they didn't. So you feel like you're not on the same wavelength. You feel like
something that we should look out for at the beginning? Look for someone who has probably a growth mindset.
Yeah, growth mindset. And also understanding you can also be at different places, especially when you're married. You cannot, we don't evolve the same way. Some people will take time, some people are faster, some people are slower. Also, sometimes we are the ones who change.
Yeah.
Like you work on yourself, you get a new job, you start wearing miniskirt, and then you feel, who you better mshamba. But you're the one who
changed positively. Well, yes,
Yeah.
But then you changed regardless. When we talk about people who've gotten out of a relationship, probably they've taken the work, things you've suggested for them to learn about themselves, for them to know this is what I will not take because I know when you're healthy, then this is what it should look like. At what point then do you get back to I am ready now. Let me get into the market. Let me go see who's there, what's happening. Is there a particular point that you can get and be like, this is it, this is the time?
I think it's when you stop comparing with your ex.
Doesn't stop
When you
really.
stop, of course, you can look at, does he still have the traits that the other person had, but not necessarily putting them on a weighing machine.
Okay.
Who you know.
Yeah.
It's like you're going there to really date a better version of your ex. That, you know, this is a totally different person.
Yes.
Understanding that and being open-minded to someone new. Why do you want to date the same person over and over again? We have there's more than 1 billion people in this world, you know. But we always, you know, like you're so stuck on njoro. Get over that.
Yeah.
Get out of that njoro room.
Okay.
And be free to meet someone who's themselves, who's, you know. So when you stop putting that your current person or whoever you want to date in comparison with when you start thinking, you know, I want to go out to date, but the only thing I want different from like my ex is someone who's like this and this. You're still stuck there.
Okay.
Also, another thing, when you leave a relationship, I say, don't take time, even a year before getting into. Don't start rushing. There's no hurry. And some people, when you do the work, when you work on yourself, you really become happy in your own space. And you figure you don't need someone else to make you whole and complete and to make you feel good about yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you walked this journey, happily married now.
Yeah.
And did the checks, the list you had, did it check out?
I think it did.
Over and above?
It did, yeah. A lot of times we think we know what we want and we want to tell God, nataka hivi na hivi na hivi.
Yes.
But God knows exactly what we want. God will surpass those expectations and you're like, whoa, so I can do this better.
Yes.
I can do this much better. I knew what I wanted. And when I left that narcissistic relationship, I stayed for 2 years, single. I did. Oh, before I get to that, you asked me how to know if you're ready.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't really know you're ready until you put yourself out here.
Okay.
Then maybe when you go on 1-2 dates, you start feeling, wacha ningoje. It's okay.
Yes.
It's totally okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, it took me 2 years.
Yeah.
And then now I got into the dating.
Oh my God.
And actually, when I started dating after the 2 years, my first boyfriend was my husband.
Immediately after?
No, like after 2 years.
So after 2 years when you got back, he was your first date?
Yeah, boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Of course, I went on dates.
Okay. But the first person you agreed to date.
But then you're feeling,
Asha,
you know. So I did go on dates. I did.
Yeah.
He was my first, like now, my other boyfriend was him.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you're glowing and you've been since. So we're just putting it out there that it's been a beautiful journey and we can see it.
It has been one day at a time.
That's true.
It's also, you know, relationships are also a learning experience. You learn a lot, more so about yourself. Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot, especially about yourself, how to handle situations.
Hiyo kitu umesema, because I was almost forgetting. You have a gig exactly about self-awareness coming up.
Yes, I do. I do.
Yes.
A lot of times, the reason we find ourselves in relationships that are really hurting us, or we find ourselves getting to relationships for the sake of it, is because of lack of self-awareness. The reason we settle for less even in life, the reason we're here pleasing everybody and not living who we are, is because we don't know who we are. So I have an upcoming workshop for women. It's called the Self-Awareness Women's Workshop. Yes. It's going to be basically about getting to know who you are, owning your space, standing in your space, knowing what you are in terms of relationships, in terms of career-wise, wanting to spread and stretch your wings, just standing in your space and owning who you are and understanding your goals, what you want in life, who you are, you know, what you are about and everything. Because that's the beginning of freedom.
That's true.
Ultimately, we all want to be free. You just want to be yourself and live in your truth and just enjoy.
Marinate in it.
Yeah. So that's what the workshop will be about.
Okay.
It will be on 3rd December.
Okay.
At the Emory Hotel.
That is on a Saturday.
Yeah, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay. Damages? What do we need to do? Where do we do that?
It's 3,000 Kenya shillings.
Okay.
Yeah, inclusive of lunch, snacks, and all that. We do a lot of fun team building, a lot of coping mechanisms and everyday things we can do. I'm very good when it comes to practicals and also teaching someone how to cope with a situation when it comes, not just telling them like what can you do, the breathing exercises, the questions you need to ask yourself, what you need to look at. So basically that's what the workshop will be about.
Okay.
I'll give you a poster, maybe you can put it somewhere here.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, it has
right
a till
here
number
somewhere.
it has a till number, and also
Okay.
put a phone number if you have more questions.
Okay.
So we'll be closing by end of November if we will not have attained the number, so we might close earlier.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah, but so far so good. I'm excited. It's the first Muthoni's Mission event. So yeah.
Muthoni's Mission is where you'll find her.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is called Muthoni's Mission.
Yeah, so Muthoni's Mission, 3rd of
December.
3rd of December
2022.
2022. It's 3000 Bob, Emery Hotel. It's like a full day.
Yeah, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah,
and then look nice. People have been asking me, so what's the dress code? Just wear your best.
Okay,
look your best, look
cool.
nice.
And be comfortable.
Be comfortable and come ready to have fun and to learn and to bond with other women. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Muthoni, for coming through.
You're welcome.
This sitting was long overdue. And I'm happy that you're here.
I'm so happy.
And you will be back because there are many conversations that we need to have. And I think maybe we should do one Q&A, like people should just send in their questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and then you just tackle them as we go.
I love
Probably
those ones.
a lot.
I
Cindy,
do.
those ones are
and
good.
actually, and let me say this, I am a mindset coach.
Yes.
I am a practicing coach.
Yes.
I do sessions with women, with clients. I coach women. That's where I feel like my calling leans more towards.
Okay.
I also have packages. I have packages to do with self-awareness, healing. Please call me here. We talk about healing the inner child and childhood trauma. Yes.
Yes.
Self-esteem, raising your self-esteem, self-confidence, emotional maturity, all those things. So I do, so I think I'll leave you with my phone number in case anybody is interested.
Not a problem.
So the Q&A, I love that.
We'll
We
do
can
it.
do it, yes.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
She said it here, so definitely she will be back. But thank you so much for tuning in all the way to the end. And if you have any questions, remember to just put them down on the comment section. Remember to comment, like, share, turn on the notification bell, all those beautiful thingies people on the internet do them, okay? And also remember to check out Twiva Studios because they make sure you as a business, an influencer, content creator, that you have a platform that takes you to the next level when it comes to your content, your business, photography, videography of your products. All of that is taken care of at Twiva Studios, which is here at Harlingam, Kose Heights, 3rd floor. Pay them a visit. Find them on social media, Twiva Studios or Twiva_influence. Thank you for coming through. Muthoni, do you want to do the outro?
Yes, I want to do
this is your camera. Okay, cool.
You have been watching Mwikali Talks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting our girl here. And keep doing that. Every Tuesday, 10 a.m., we always have a new video here. We are always waiting for you so you can learn, so you can ask questions, so we can also interact and feel good. Yeah. So bye. Till next Tuesday, 10 a.m.
You are a natural.